purpose of today is to let everybody know about the council, about the campaigns that we've been working on, and to welcome you guys into our community and to work collectively to build it together.
I'm just saying, right? We do this every day, but that's a lot, right? So it does take not just the relationships with the property owners, but it takes relationships with a team of people and professionals to get things done. And so I want to kind of touch on that for a little bit. And I want to start with you, Donovan, because you've grown really, really fast, really, really quick. And I don't want to say really fast, really quick, but like I meet a lot of folks who want to get into the real estate space, especially the development space, right? And kind of like what Tiffany was saying, there's these assumed hurdles, so to speak. Donovan kind of grabbed hold of the information and took it and ran with it. And so that's what I mean. It's fast, that quick, okay? But I want to touch on that because along the way, you had to pull in some different people to help you do what y'all are saying, right? To get to that property and actually get that wealth going. So can you speak to like how you begin building your team? Like what, kind of give us some backdrop to that.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you. Yeah, Jason's being generous. I'm just a regular old guy. Like there's nothing special about me. But yeah, so I think a key is...
So he says that. He says it. So, but you go to his Twitter, right? And the first pinned tweet is him on Bigger Pockets interview because he has 12 plus duplexes in his pipeline. That's not something everybody does every day. I need him to know that. So y'all, please.
Right. Accept that.
Okay.
Receive that.
So continue, sir.
To push back, the point is any one of you can do it. So that's the key. Is like, again, there's nothing special about me. I don't have any type of construction background. None of my family was in real estate. It was like Jason said, I took the information and kind of went with it. So again, like I was talking about the financing piece, a lot of people are like, okay, Donovan, I want to do what you do. I want to flip houses, do new construction. How do I get the money? I didn't have any money. So when I got started, this was 2020. I was a year out of college. I got like 30 grand in student loans. Listen, I'm not worried about building, duplexes at the moment. I'm like, I got debt to pay off. But the point is like, how do you still make it happen? Okay, so you start reaching out to your network. You come to events like this. Who can I talk to who has the money? Who trusts me enough to let me borrow it here? I don't know, 5 grand here, 10 grand there. And then once you got the land, okay, how do I build it? Now you reach out to someone like Garland. Garland knows the process to build, how to maximize the unit density or whatever the lot size is. Okay, now I got the architect plans in place. Now what do I do? How do I finance it? Well, you come to someone like, I don't know, Andre has a few, I don't know if he's still here. Andre, yes to real estate, him and his son Chase, I reached out to him a lot because he's doing new construction kind of the same way I am. He gave me a reference for a lender. I reached out to my network. So again, like everything I've done was just leveraging the people I know, not necessarily me being special or anything. It was just me kind of putting the pieces together. So I think that's what I wanted to touch on is like anyone can do it. It's not nothing crazy. You just gotta leverage the network.
Did you know those pieces before you got going?
Absolutely not. No. So
you were assembling on the fly?
I was pretty much assembling the parachute on the way down once I jumped out. Yes.
So you had to start. You had to start somewhere.
Exactly.
And so you talked about a lot of people you reached out to. And Tiffany, I want to ask you because you've been recognized as being an influencer and networking, and you really have to get in there in those rooms that you're in and throw your elbows around sometimes, I'm sure, right? And so Donovan spoke about reaching out to different people. Earlier today, y'all heard Andre say he reached out to people, and the folks just told him, good luck, or gave him a prayer. So I want to touch, like, if I'm reaching out to people like Tiffany, like, if I want to reach out to you, like, what does that truly look like? You're a busy person. You want to help. Everybody wants to call and say they want to help. Like, how you reach out to those people and kind of get that connection, that relationship?
I think the first thing is when you go to anyone, if I come to any one of you the same way if any of you come to me, your time is valuable. Your time is worth money. So when you pick up the phone and call someone, you better have your questions ready to go, because my mind, I'm already in 17 different places. I'm thinking about 30 things right now. Food is one. And so you want to make sure that when you pick up that phone and you call that professional, that you have your questions already pulled together and you know, this is what I'm calling for, this is what I need, and this is who I need to speak to. And when you call them, let them know, hey, look, all I need is 15 minutes of your time. And when you say 15 minutes, you mean 14 minutes and 59 seconds, because you want to be respectful. And for me, if you're that respectful of my time, I'm going to be like, man, like, if you need anything else, give me a call back on this day when I have a little bit more time. But it lets me know that you're serious. You called me, you had your questions together, you had your information together. You've already done some preliminary homework and research before you even got to me, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. You've already done some homework on your end before you get to me, so that when you call me, you're just calling to verify, or you're calling to say, hey, Tiffany, am I on the right direction? And if not, where can I go and what can I do? But I think the biggest thing when you're talking about reaching out to people, like I said, even if I reached out to you guys, I'm saying, look, I got 10 minutes, you got 10 minutes, let's knock out the most that we can do right now. And just knowing that their time is valuable and treating it like so. And when you call them and respect them, they're going to give you all of the information they have and some.
For either of you three, like, to add to that, like, what are 3 or 4 things I should know? Like, if I'm gonna call and I'm gonna sit down, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think sometimes that's the thing. Like, I want to call, but like, I don't even know what to ask, right? I don't know where to start. So like, where can I start?
Typically when people reach out to me and I have conversations with strangers or people that I haven't had it added to my circle just yet, the one thing I'd like you to tell me is at least, like, what is your goal? Like, what is your end game? Like, what do you see your North Star as? Like, what are you seeing when you're thinking real estate? What are you seeing when you're thinking generational wealth? Can you tell me your overall goal or what you would like to accomplish? Just that one thing, and then from there we can kind of reverse engineer it.
Okay, so I don't need to have everything, basically. Same thing here. I don't need to know everything, but at least know where I'm trying to go.
Know where you're trying to go.
Is that financially? Is that just in general? Or
again, like, it don't even have to be financially. Just that sticks and bricks type of figure. Like, it don't even have to be like well done, well drawn. Just a general conglomerate, like of an idea that I can pick apart.
So Donovan, did you have that goal when you were reaching out to folks?
Yeah, so I think one of the things I wanted to touch on was the reason why I think someone like Garland was so willing to help me was because I was already taking action. So like, when I reached out to Garland like last month. I said, listen, my GC built my firewall incorrectly. I don't know how to do it because, again, I have no construction background. Can you help me? And of course, he already sees me taking action. He's much more willing to, yeah, Donovan, here's what you do. You need to do this, this, and this. Tell him to do this, and they should pass it. So again, because I was already in the motions taking some type of action with a very specific question, it's much more easier for that person to help you. And those are the people I help the most when they reach out to me. Donovan, I was looking at new construction. I looked at this lot, but the part I'm not understanding is, how do I get the loan? How much do I actually have to bring? Okay, I'm willing to help you because you've done some homework. Like Tiffany said, you did a little bit of research just up front. You don't have to Google everything, but like, show me like you're respectful of the time. So yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Okay, so but let's just say I did a little research.
Yeah.
Right, I did a little research. I got my nerves together. I made the call. I called Tiffany. I called you, and Tiffany, she got 3 major deals, and she didn't call me back. I don't know what happened. I don't know if she got my email. Like, how do I provide some type of value or incentive, or can I provide some value or incentive for you to say, I'll connect. Like, is that something I should be thinking about?
I say follow-up is essential. I will tell you, I have people that will call me and text, and you will see that I have read your text, and I 9 times out of 10 have seen it, but you have no clue if I just got on the plane and I'm headed to, my fiance lives in Atlanta, so I'm constantly traveling. So just because I don't respond on the first email or text or call doesn't mean I'm ignoring you or what you want isn't important. Follow up with me, because the moment that you say, Tiffany, I called you, never called me back, I'm going to be so apologetic, because it was never my intent not to get back to you. I just forgot. Like I said, 30 things. Food is always one. And I'll tell you, when they say, make sure that you guys are doing the homework before you get to them, have an idea of where you want to go. I would say, to end all of that, be honest with who you're calling about where you are, be honest with yourself, and be honest with them, right? Because if you call me and you make it seem like you know everything, I'm only going to give you what I think you need. If you call me and make it seem like you got your financing piece in place, I'm not going to give you any direction on where to go. So I think it's important that you let people know honestly where you are in your process. I've done my research. I've told you where I want to go, but here's where I am in my process so that I know which way and where I can direct you at. So I would definitely say make sure you follow up. I don't care how many times you follow. If it's 3 times, I have called people 10 times before, and I'm like, hey, it's me. And then when it gets like a little, I'm like, hey, it's me again. I know you've heard my voice. I call people all of the time. If you let one no stop you from getting information, it wasn't important for you. It was never important to you. We can make excuses to not do whatever it is that we don't want to do, but when it's something you want to do, you're going to find a way or make one. So I would say follow up, and then also just being honest with where you are and where you want to be.
Now, I asked that question from a terms of like, how do I show value? What if I'm not active, right? How do I show value? Because I wanted to touch on like the notion of like mentorship right now. And I think that's a big thing. I'll tell you too quick. I was out somewhere and I asked someone who their mentor was, and it was a person they follow on YouTube. Now, I don't have any judgment to that, but they have never met that person. And for me, I'm not too old, but I'm older, and I didn't understand that. Okay? I feel like a mentor is somebody I should know this has a they care about what's happening to me, so to speak, right? But it's hard. How do I come to that point? And so that's where I want to talk to like that value piece. That's why I brought that up, right? Same thing with mentoring. I met a young man at an event, and he said, "Well, can you mentor me?" And he's the first time he met me, so I was confused as to why he wanted me to mentor him. He had never met me, and I gave him my card and said, "Come to my office." I never heard from him again, right? So that's my piece.
Yeah.
I want to know. I'm gonna start with you, Mel. I kind of want to know, like, in terms of something like that, you're talking about mentorship. Like, how do I work towards that?
Okay, so I'll start by saying how I kind of snatched my mentors. And I don't think I've ever like formally asked them like, hey, like, can you mentor me? That's never come out of my mouth. For me, it was just more so about showing up and following up. So like, sometimes I wouldn't even hit them up. Like, I'd just be like, oh, what they gonna be tomorrow? Like, what they gonna be this weekend? And I'm like, okay, bet, that's the event I'm going to, so just so I can kind of like rub elbows a little bit, speak, but don't start a conversation, like just so you just get to know my face. And then maybe like the 3rd event or like the 4th conversation is just like, oh, okay, well, this is what I've learned so far, X, Y, and Z. Do you want to do lunch, or can I help set up at the next event that you're having? Like, how can I be of value to you, even though not anywhere close to where you are, but I know you're going to need some food at the event. I know you're going to need some tables and some chairs. Can I bring the tables and the chairs? Like just trying to be in their view before even like, and now like I talk to them probably like 2 times a week at this point, and they don't even know, like, yeah, like, you're my mentor. I didn't ask, but like, you're it.
I elected.
Right. And I guess for the people that have latched on to me, like, I know that I'm their mentor. They've done it the same way. It's just like, hey, Mel, can I ask you a question? Or, hey, Mel, like, where you gonna be? Like, what's your next event? And I'll just tell them. And I know I don't text back or call back, rarely email back. So it's just like, it's like extreme follow-up. Like, you can't take it personal. You can't be emotional. I'm not going to take it personal. When you hit me back and I do respond, like, yeah, come through, pull up. Like, yeah, like nothing even happened. So like, that's kind of how I take the route to my mentees, people that are relentless at following up and just really showing up and placing their self in the space. So that way, okay, I know you about it. I know you really want it. I can trust you with some stuff. Okay, can you do this for me?
What about you, John? So have you, or starting out here, development-wise, do you have a mentor?
No.
Or someone you consider a mentor?
Yeah, I have people I consider a mentor, but like she said, like, they don't know, because I just constantly ask them questions, and then slowly I'm like, okay, I got you. Like, but what I was gonna say is, like, to add to that is, like, the reason why they're willing to respond is because, like, hey, I asked them for, hey, how do I arrange the financing for this piece? Okay, I go back and do it, and then I come back and tell them, okay, I did what you told me to do. It worked. I appreciate it. You know, so the follow up of like, okay, after you've asked someone for something, like let them know how it went, and they're like, okay, great, I'm glad I could help, and they're gonna want to help you the next time. So I wouldn't say ask someone to be their mentor. I'd say kind of like force it. Like, yeah, like hey, like ask them questions, like take some action. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think that's good. That's good because I think a lot of us are looking for guidance, and a lot of times just don't know, like we don't know how to engage that person. Sometimes they seem so far away. Some of y'all probably see, like the three of them are pretty heavy on social media, and nowadays, like it's become almost celebrity. And so you might go see Tiffany and see, oh man, she's got all these followers. She's not going to respond to me, but she wants to help. That's why she has the followers. That's why people are following her, because she wants to help and give that information. So I wanted to make sure we touched on, like, how do you connect with these people? How do you connect with folks that are out here doing it, so that you don't waste their time or yours?